In the last video, we saw that logarithms could turn an exponential graph or an exponential relationship into a straight line. And the trick was just changing your y-axis into a log y-axis. We can use logarithms actually to linearize equations that aren't just exponential. We can also linearize polynomial equations. That's what we're going to look at in this video. So have a look at this. Okay, so here's a pretty nasty looking polynomial equation. And by the way, just as a little reminder, a polynomial equation is one where we've got some kind of coefficient times by x, our variable, to some kind of power, where a and b are our constants. And so this is polynomial. Polynomial. And that contrasts with our exponential, which we were looking at in the last video. And that was where we had some constant times by some other constant, a base to a power. So exponential, your variable is up in the power, whereas in polynomial, variable is in the base. So should I have a go at sketching this? Well, I don't really know what I'm doing with an x to the power of 1.2. It's a complicated one, but it's going to have some kind of, okay, it's going to be a bit steeper than a straight line, but not as steep as a quadratic. So it will go through 0 because 0 to the power 0, 0 to the power 1.2 is 0. And so my guess is it's going to look, like this, just not quite as steep as a quadratic, but steep, but curving more than a straight line. So here's the clever bit again. If we take logs of both sides, here's what happens. Oh, and just to be clear, this was the y-axis and this is the x-axis. This is plain old x and y-axes here. So if I do log base 10 of the left-hand side, I get that. And if I do log base 10 of the right-hand side, I get this. Now, using some logarithm laws, I can see that the left-hand side can be split up into log base 10 of 4 plus log base 10 of x to the 1.2. One little extra step of log laws is that my power of 1.2 can be brought down to the front. So log base 10 of 4 plus 1.2 log base 10 of x. Okay, why is this helpful? Once again, it looks like a mess. And yet, if I could change my y-axis to a log y-axis, so maybe we could even just rename that as capital Y. So let's say that capital Y is the same as log base 10 of y. Well, we've just got a number here, just a constant. So let's just rename that as c. We've got another constant here. Why don't we call that, I don't know, m. And imagine that we renamed log base 10 of x to capital X. We get a straight line again, mx plus c. It's just that instead of, whereas in the last video, it was converting the y-axis to a log y-axis. Now we're going to convert the y-axis to a log y-axis and the x-axis to a log x-axis. So we log both of them. Okay, let's delve into this. Give ourselves some more space. So what have we got? We've got log base 10 of y, 1.2 log base 10 of x, and then it was plus log base 10 of 4, plus log base 10 of 4. So we've got to think now, in order to, well, if we're going to plot this, that this is going to be my log base 10 of y-axis, and this is not the x-axis anymore. This is going to be my log base 10 of x-axis. And what does that do? Well, it leaves me with a line, a straight line with gradient 1.2 and y-intercept log base 10 of 4. And this business, you will sometimes see people renaming this, where they kind of do a little substitution almost of saying, let's just rename log base 10 of y as capital Y, and let's rename log base 10 of x capital X. So we're kind of dealing with, the capital Y axis and the capital X axis, and that makes it look prettier. We've got y equals 1.2x plus, and what is log base 10 of 4? I do this on my calculator and I get about 0.6. I'm heavily rounding here, more than we would in a proper question. So can I sketch this? Yes, I can. It's got a y-intercept of 0.6 and a gradient of 1.2. So there it is, a straight line, that goes through the point 0, 0.6 and has a gradient of 1.2. So what that shows is that if you're prepared to deal with log x and log y axes, then if you've got an expression in polynomial form, you can linearize it. Let's look at a similar example to last time to see how this works. So a historian is investigating the number of churches in English towns and thinks the relationship between the number of churches y and the population x is in the form y equals ax to the n. That's a polynomial relationship. He plots a graph of log y against log x, and look, he's got a straight line. So that suggests that this was a sensible model. In one town he studied, there were 7,000 people and 3 churches. In a different town, there were 40,000 people and 12 churches. Find an equation of the straight line log y against log x. Well, let's think about these coordinates. We've got, and we could also, by the way, let's just work with capital X instead of log x, capital Y instead of log y, and we'll try to just find a relationship for capital X, relating capital X and capital Y. So what are our coordinates? Our coordinates are 7,000 people, except we don't want to be plotting coordinates of 7,000 against 3, because that would be y values and x values. We want log x and log y values. So what I actually have is coordinates of log base 10 of 7,000 people and log base 10 of 3 churches. So what is that? Well, that is log base 10 of 7,000 people is 3.845. So there's an x value there, or capital X value, 3.845, and a y value, or capital Y value of log base 10 of 3 is 0.477. So there's my first coordinate. And my next coordinate is, for the other town, is log base 10 of 40,000 people against log base 10 of 12 churches. So what do we get here? Well, log base 10 of 40,000 is 4.602. You see how much logs crush numbers by. Like, you take a massive number like 40,000, take the log of it, and it's just 4.6. And then log base 10 of 12 is 1.079. 1.079. So can we find the equation of a straight line linking that goes through these 2 points? Of course we can. All right, let's give ourselves a little bit more space. So here are those coordinates represented on the graph. Can we find the equation of this line? Yep, let's work out the gradient first. The gradient is change in y, so 1.079 minus 0.477 over change in x. I mean, I'm saying change in y divided by change in x. Change in log y divided by change in log x. Divided by the change in log x. 4.602 minus 3.845. It's a bit of a mess, but that is what the real world is like. You get these messy equations sometimes. 3.845. So we get a gradient of 0.795. And now the equation of the line, we can just do y minus the y value. I'm going to use capitals to remind myself that I'm really dealing with the logs. Y minus, and I'll go with this point, just smaller numbers. Y minus the y value equals the gradient times capital X minus the x value, 3.845. Expanding, what do we get? Well, y, capital Y, minus 0.477 equals 0.795x minus, and then we've got 3.845 times 0.795 minus 3.057. And finally, that means that if I add 0.47 to both sides, you get 0.795x. and then my negative 3.059 minus 3.057 plus 0.477 gives me minus 2.580. Okay, we wanted the equation linking log y and log x, but capital Y we just was having a stand-in for log base 10 of y. So that's equal to 0.795 log base 10 of x. And then here's the y-intercept. Okay, so there we go. There is an expression, a straight line expression linking log y and log x. Let's go on and find the equation, the original equation linking y and x. So here's my answer. Hence find an equation linking y and x and use this to estimate the population of a town that has 10 churches. All right, so if we want to get our logs out of this, there are a number of ways to do it. Here, I think a nice way of doing it, just do 10 to the power of both sides. So 10 to the power of the left-hand side is just y. 10 to the power of the right-hand side is 10 to the power of the whole lot. So don't kind of try to cut any corners here. It really is just the whole thing. Okay, well, we can now use indices laws to split that up a little bit. So that's going to be 10 to the power of 0.795 log x, and the minus there, well, we can just say it's 10 to the times 10 to the power of minus 2.58. Okay, can we simplify this? Well, yes, we can. Look at this clever step. We can use our log law that says that we can bring this coefficient up as a power of x. So that's log of x to the power of 0.795. It's really powers of powers of powers here, so it's getting a little bit small, times 10 to the minus 2.58. Now, 10 to the power of log base 10 of stuff, or the 10 to the power of the log base 10 of just cancel. And what we have left is just x to the 0.795 from all of this mess. Okay, what is left? Well, we've got this here, but let's just work out what 10 to the minus 2.58 is. Okay, it's just something we can key in the calculator. 10 to the power of minus 2.58 is 0.00263. So that's actually my answer. Just rewrite it in a nicer order, is 0.00263 times x to the power of 0.795. So this is supposed to be an equation linking population x, number of churches y. Does it work? Don't know, but kind of cool that we can still figure stuff like that out. Hence, find an equation linking y and x, got that. Use this to estimate the population x of a town that has 10 churches. So when y equals 10, what's x? Well, that's just going to be solving this equation, which is a tad ugly, but I think we'll cope. So 10 divided by this, so 10 divided by that number is 3,801.9. I use an unrounded answer there, equals x to the 0.795. And then all I need to do is do the 0.795th root of that. So the 0.795th root of 3801.9. So what do we get? So I can type in the 0.795th root of my answer, and I get 31853 if I round to the nearest person. So I would estimate that if a town has 10 churches, there are 31,853 people in it. Okay. This is a bit of a shock. I think the first time people see it, practice it. Once you do get to practice it a bit and get used to what the questions are like, it's not too bad. You also get to practice it in stats as well. So don't be daunted by this. There'll be lots of practice of it. All right, see you in the next video.